The political ombudsman is an important facilitator in Jamaica's political system and by extension its democracy. And recently a new person was appointed to the critical post. She's Attorney at Law Donna Parchment Brown. The island's fourth political ombudsman is our guest this week on Issues and Answers. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome to this Sunday's edition of Jamaica Magazine.
Lottery scamming kills. It is a clear and present danger to all communities and our society at large.
Up to August, 138 murders in Era 1 have been associated with lottery scamming.
I want to make a personal appeal to parents and other family members to ensure that they do not, by their silence, give tacit support to their children who are involved in criminal behavior.
This is Romain Virgo. I'm here appeal to all of the youths them to just stay away from crime and violence. We know the temptation, the money, the fast life. People say them rate you. But that will only take you nowhere. If you stay in school and focus, and you can achieve anything. Be your own leader. A gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
In her first in-depth television interview since being recently installed as political ombudsman, Donna Parchment Brown speaks candidly on her appointment. Mrs. Parchment Brown addresses matters of priority, such as the role of political leaders in preserving civility. She's next with Ian Boyne.
Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. Today we talk about the quality of our political discourse, the quality of our democracy. We have with us the newly appointed political ombudsman, the Honorable Donna Parchment Brown. We thank you for your company. Good to have you on the program, political ombudsman.
Thank you, Ian. My
spoken
pleasure.
to you in other capacities.
Yes, over the years.
Congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about you. You have had a long history in working with people, in working with various groups. You were head of the Dispute Resolution Foundation, and you also worked on the Peace Management Institute.
Yes, absolutely. I've been really blessed. I think, you know, I've been put in a position to work with fantastic people throughout my career.
Including the former political ombudsman,
yes,
Reverend Harold Blair.
Bishop Harold Blair has been my mentor. You know, I served with him on the Peace Management Initiative. We're founding members. He the chairman, me the vice chair. And during that period of turbulence in Jamaica, both political and within the context of the criminal justice system.
You were there.
I was there, you know, and I think we helped to shape what that sort of social intervention would be, working with other very great people on the PMI. I think many people forget that there was a time not so long ago, maybe 15 years ago or less, when there were communities that were essentially locked down.
That's right.
There were communities that an incident might be triggered by politics or a interpersonal relationship, a man-woman situation, the loss of a firearm, whatever the trigger might have been. But we would see communities for weeks, months, really being locked down, police in their curfews, people not being able to come out. I think we can even remember an incident where a bus was affected and that route was not having any service from the bus for a while, you know, and we were in all of those situations as PMI, particularly in the corporate area in St. Catherine. And we got to see how many Jamaicans wanted their lives to be different, who, while they wanted to engage in politics, did not want to engage in violence or experience harm. And, you know, those are lessons well learned from people who are on the ground every day trying to build this great country.
Yes. And your work with the Dispute Resolution Foundation would have taken you all over the island.
Absolutely. You know, it's a good thing I was a young woman then.
You're still young.
Because I was driving all over Jamaica, every single parish in the
with all kinds
formative
of
years
issues,
of
yes.
Dispute Resolution Foundation, doing training, meeting people, setting up centers, working with a great team, a great number of board members and leaders. Novar MacDonald, our first chairman, you know, Paul Hines, the current CEO, Karen Gentles, my assistant, and a number of people. You know, we had the then Chief Justice, Sir Edward Zaka, as the patron and one of the founding members, and of course Chief Justice Lenz de Wolf, and today they're pleased to have our present Chief Justice.
Yes.
So it gave us a great idea of how to make the law present in the lives of people by them owning their problems and learning how to talk about issues and coming out with solutions of their own design.
Yes, yes.
You know, maybe because I'm the first of 9 children, I grew up learning to listen. Because little ones always want the bigger ones to deal with things, you know.
So dealing with disputes has been a lifetime
I would say
preoccupation.
So. Absolutely, and you know, with a father who did not believe in beating or fighting, especially the bigger ones hitting the smaller ones. So, you know, listening and talking has always been part of it. People can disagree, but you know, there's absolutely no reason why we have to hurt one another with words, because the hurt with words can remain for a lifetime, while sometimes a physical hurt goes away.
And one of the responsibilities of the Office of the Political Ombudsman is to ensure that the quality of the discourse during a political campaign or just between political parties, that it is civil.
Yes, yes.
You know, about the importance of that role.
That for me is so important, because that civility is empowering to the citizen and to the politician. Because civility requires a certain amount of respect. So that's the first thing about civility. If I don't respect you, then it's unlikely that civility would be my normal approach. And respect definitely is the oil that is going to keep the Jamaican engine going. We're all valuable, every one of us. And if you intend to serve me, then it's important that you try to know me, know what matters to me, and provide what I require of you in political service. And civility helps you achieve your objectives. Because have you found, I think everybody has had this experience, somebody comes to you, they want something to be done. They come to you rudely, loudly, not allowing you to ask them any questions for clarification or anything. And at the end of the day, you're unable to do what it is that they want. Somebody else comes to you and they says, good morning, good afternoon, I'm so-and-so, I know you're so-and-so, here's what I'm trying to do. How can you assist me? And I know it sounds really mild and meek, but the truth is it works.
In the political culture, is the cas at the heart of the cut and thrust?
It's not at the heart.
It shouldn't be.
It is destroying the heart.
It is.
We are not, you know, we have gotten into some habits of describing ourselves. Jamaicans, maybe, yes, there's a tracing that we do, which is absolutely beautiful to watch, because it is a creative mind. It is a lyricist that does that. It's the poet. Then you have the other tracing, which is also vulgar. And the one that gets something done is the one. We listen to songs all the time, you know, and Jamaica, we have a lot of songs that bun bad mind. And some of the bun bad mind songs, we really love them because what's in the story you can engage with. But some of the others say, sure, why am I sing that for? That don't make no sense. Is that, I mean, that's our reality. Likewise in the political sphere, whether it's in election season or out of election season, we want to hear when a politician or an aspiring politician speaks that we can hear a message beyond the noise. So it's for the speaker to minimize his noise so you can get the message. We all know grandma's old message, when you're in the market, don't worry about the noise, watch your change. And a lot of Jamaicans understand that and live that way. So we may not stop you from talking, but we're trying to get the kernel. And if there's nothing in there, then we don't get it.
So the Office of the Political Ombudsman is very much invested in trying to change the political discourse, to let the politicians talk about issues of substance rather than the issues that really don't advance us. We're speaking to the Political Ombudsman. We take a break.
This is Diane Edwards from JamPro. Stay tuned, you're watching Issues and Answers on Jamaica Magazine with Ian Boyne.
Political Ombudsman Honorable Donna Parchment Brown is our guest. So your office will be very diligent in monitoring what takes place at the political rallies, in monitoring the discourse between the political parties. Will you yourself be meeting with political leaders, candidates, to just emphasize the importance of the Code of Conduct which was signed in 2002?
Absolutely. You know, I think it's important first to talk to people, have them have a reason to have confidence in you. So building confidence of the parties is important to me at this point. It is true that the Governor General has appointed me on the advice in consultation with the Leader of the Opposition and the Prime Minister. Right. And I'm very appreciative of the confidence that's been reposed in me and has been demonstrated to in both the Parliament and in the Senate. What I'd like to do is sit with the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Parliamentary Opposition individually and hear their thoughts about the office, hear their concerns about the carrying out of the political function, particularly in the party sense, the competitive sense, and think through with them what are their worries about the way in which I may go wrong, and what are their ideas about how I may go right. I would also, of course, be meeting with some other folk who are involved in the process of elections, and over time the Director of Elections, the Electoral Commission, all of these I will be meeting with. Now, the legislation is there, the Political Ombudsman Act, there's a representation of the People's Act, which is being amended as we speak on the advice of the Electoral Commission. And so there will be some additional duties coming from that for the Ombudsman. So I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks being in a number of conversations with key actors.
Yes. And of course, the Office of the Political Ombudsman is not just functional during election periods. There are things that you have to do on an ongoing basis.
Absolutely. Every day, the small p of politics is going on.
That's true.
Every day, decisions are being made. They are political. We have tended to conflate political with partisan. These are two different things. Parties may have actions that they want to do, but the country operates based on political decision making. So it's important that every citizen and everyone in the country feels confident that they can have a political point of view, express the political point of view, and move about the country not being in any way restricted, intimidated, or harmed as a result of their real or perceived political position. In addition, we don't want people to be paying people to carry out political acts in and out of season, whether it is to carry out an illegal, violent act or a non-violent but still illegal action, or to vote in a particular way at any point. And so I'm hoping that before we come to any elections, there will be a number of opportunities for the public to think about how they can, working with me and working with one another, actually improve the political climate, therefore improve our democracy, and possibly increase their willingness to be directly engaged in politics. We have a lot of enthusiastic activists now. And I want to say that politics requires the people who are out there on the campaign trail, the people who are there with their parties. I admire them. I think that's a wonderful thing. But those who are not so engaged are also free to exercise their politics as they wish.
And you would encourage people to vote, to participate in the electoral system?
I absolutely want to. I respect very much the fact that they are disenchanted persons. They're uninformed persons. They're persons who could be courted to be in the process, but sometimes the suitors are not as skilled as they need to be. And I recognize that whether we vote or don't vote, we are making a statement, and we also live by the consequences of those decisions. Now, for me, what is desirable is understanding the issues that cause an individual or a group to stay away from the electoral process, and try to understand that well enough to convey to the political actors so that they might so amend their ways that they might indeed have improved participation at the polls. But I'm not demanding or mandating that. My job is to help to make the climate one that allows everyone to feel comfortable as a Jamaican in a democracy.
And members of the public can contact your office to make submissions or to make complaints or to make suggestions as to how the political culture can be improved, the behavior of politicians.
Absolutely. I've already been encouraged to use social media, and I'm rolling out a way to use social media more so that people may be engaged in different formats in which they're very comfortable. The Office of the Political Ombudsman is at 85A Duke Street, next door to Gordon House in the JMA building. And the email address is politicalombudsman@yahoo.com. And I don't know the phone numbers yet. But we did have 2 ads in the press with that information. I'm sure the office is listed in the phone book, or if someone calls the Parliament or JIS, they would be able to get that information. I'm hoping as soon as nomination day is announced, whenever that may be, I would propose to publish the political code of conduct in full, so that the public in general will have it. It will be posted, it's posted I think on Parliament's website already for those who need it. And one of the activities I'm really looking forward to is working with the custodians of all of the parishes. I won't be a custos then I'm sure.
You're a custos now.
Because I'm on my way out, I'm just in the wrap-up stage. The custodians of each of the parishes, who I truly admire for the work they're doing in leading the parishes, that they would host an event where all the candidates would come together, probably breakfast, where candidates here and we sit beside one another, although we're opposing candidates. We break bread together and we sign the code, showing that as an individual, as part of the larger organization, I am committing to the terms and conditions of the code.
So there'd be signing by individual candidates,
That's
not
right.
just by their party leaders.
In fact, I'm not sure if the party leaders will need to sign
Might have
again.
signed-
There's
it
a
was signed
signed
already.
code that governs everyone.
That's right.
So there will be candidates, I'm sure, who were not in the process when this was first done. So we want to make sure each one of them has a copy of the code in their hand. They've thought about it, they know what's involved, and they have individually made a commitment. So that's one of the things I'll be discussing with the party leaders for them to help me make that happen, working with the custodians across Jamaica.
And you'll be working with the civil society groups also.
Absolutely,
briefing
absolutely.
them.
As you know, I mean, I come from civil
That's
society,
right. You're
you
very
know.
strong.
I spent many years working, for example, with the credit union movement, and that goes across Jamaica and the region, and many other
You seem to have been
entities.
prepared all your life, political ombudsman, for this job.
From your lips to God's ears,
you
I
have-
think he may have been working on it a
Yes,
long time.
You've always been working with people, and certainly you have a very high credibility and high reputation.
Thank you.
And we claim her too. She used to be a presenter on GIS television, so she's known to large numbers of Jamaican. Political Ombudsman, Honorable Donna Parchment Brown. We thank you for your company. Next week, I'll be back. Until then, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.
Fever, rash, joint pain, and red eyes. All common signs of the Zika virus or ZIKV. Symptoms are usually mild, lasting anywhere from a few days to a week. Jamaica has no Zika cases, but if it gets here, it would only be transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Don't give Zika a chance. Prevent the breeding of these pesky mosquitoes.
The use of oil, cooking oil, a little tip of cooking oil poured on the surface of the water suffocates the larvae and prevents them hatching out. So persons can do that.
From one great servant to another, coming up, racing to success. The story of Dr. Cynthia Thompson, a pioneer in track and field. Watch this and be inspired.
To know Dr. Cynthia Thompson is to know determination, grit and charisma. This tower of strength, packed into a 5'2" frame, ran at a time when inner drive was the only thing that propelled a runner. Not the coach, nutritionist, endorsement deals, or her parents. Back then, girls did not do track and field. It wasn't ladylike. Her story centers on a passion and a need to represent Jamaica, which was at the time under British colonial rule. The Kingstonian started her journey with her family, mother and father and 5 siblings, at 83 Hagley Park Road. There she went through her years of schooling, from Miss Dillon's to Halfway Tree Primary and then to St. Hugh's High. You began your track and field career at St. Hugh's?
In a manner of speaking. There was no formal coaching or anything, and we didn't have spikes, we didn't have anything like that, just a little rubber sole shoes, and it wasn't really coaching. Those who could run, ran.
You left St. Hugh's and began to work. How did you get back to track and field?
Yeah. Well, I forgot about the running, that was just something we did at school and enjoyed ourselves, But Brinton Beckett was our schoolmate at St. Hugh's, and she said to me, well, Cynthia, why don't you come and try out for the games?
That's a CSC
They're going to have
games.
Some games, and we're going to have some trials.
And this is now 1946.
Then they got to know the coaching, and he put us through these things, how to hold the arms and how to run, and to lean down, to be straight and knee lift and so forth and so.
This team was preparing for the 1946 CSE games, and you were on that team. What was that experience like?
First trial, the existing record was broken by 0.2 of a second. Second trial, 2 more tenths went, and so we went off to the games. I had no clear idea of what the games would be like. Barranquilla, Colombia.
Barranquilla, Colombia.
Very hot.
But you did very well.
Yes, I won both the 50 and 100 in the state.
And that became a stepping stone for big improvement in 1947.
Gertrude Messam was
late Gertrude Messam
was there, and she said, "You girls better keep training, because World Games is coming up. I don't know what the heck is World Games." It was a fun thing for me, I felt free and relaxed, and I just ran, And strange to say, I equaled the world record, and it was the yards in those days.
100 yards.
And I equaled 10.8.
That time vaulted you into some sort of role, a prospective medal candidate for the 1948 Olympic Games. One of the famous Cynthia Thompson stories, of course, is of you journeying from Jamaica to London for the Olympic Games in a banana boat.
What you call it, referred to me as West Indian Thunderbolt.
Really? So you're the first boat?
You're the first boat.
You're the first boat?
Yeah.
So you travel to London in a banana boat?
Afterwards, it went back to England. Herb met us, came from United States, but the rest of us came from here, and they met us in London. I hate to think of this. That robbed me of a possible medal, I think. 14 days on the water, And before the boat left the harbor, I started to come up.
After that, how did you feel when you got to London?
Weak. Well, my pants were dropping off of me, trailing on the ground, everything, you know, everything like that. But my spirits were good, you know, my spirits were good. Semi-finals, okay, made the finals. But I didn't make it up to the medal. The way I felt is that people at home and all the people were expecting me to do, and that I disappointed them. I let them down. But I did what I could.
When you look now at Merlene Ottey, Veronica Campbell, Shellen Fraser-Price on the women's side, that must fill you with pride.
Yes, I am extremely proud of all the women that have come on the track. They have really put Jamaica on the map.
This thunderbolt never married, but she adopted a young man she met as a baby while working as a pediatrician at Children's Hospital. Yes, the track was her heart, but she knew well enough to find the balance needed. And though she studied abroad, she returned to Jamaica in the era full free and gave of herself wholly to the care and protection of the nation's youth.
When using an automated banking machine ABM, ensure the machine is in a location you are comfortable with, and when you enter, be sure to close the door. Examine the machine before you insert your debit card, and never enter your card if the machine has a suspicious device attached to it. More important, don't allow strangers to assist you in conducting a transaction. And remember, treat your debit card like cash. Keep it in a safe place.
The Health Ministry has cautioned Jamaicans to be vigilant as the Pan-American Health Organization PAHO investigates reports of a possible link between Zika virus infections and birth defects in Brazil. Zika has still not been detected in Jamaica, but there is no room for complacency. We all have a responsibility to get rid of the mosquito which spreads the Zika virus. It's called Aedes aegypti, the same mosquito that transmits dengue and chikungunya. Destroy mosquito breeding sites by looking for anything around the home, school, church, and business places that may collect water and either cover it, keep it dry, or dispose of it. We want to also encourage you to protect yourselves from mosquito bites by using insect repellent containing DEET, putting mesh on windows and doors, and wearing long-sleeved clothing. The Health Ministry continues to play its part by conducting preparedness activities for the possible introduction of the Zika virus. Just last Thursday, a workshop was held with senior health workers across the island. This will be followed by training of other public health workers and those in other sectors island-wide. Let's keep Jamaica Zika-free. I leave you with this as we anticipate a heightened Christmas season. Christmas waves a magic wand over this world, and behold, everything is softer and more beautiful. Words of Norman Vincent Peale. For more on the role of the political ombudsman, click on our webpage, jis.gov.jm. We're also on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So log on and stay in the know. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Have a happy Sunday.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.